There is something special about Chapter 1's ambiance. Whether you played in Chapter 1 or are playing Chapter 4 Season OG, Epic knows how to capture Chapter 1's atmosphere. The ambiance of Fortnite's different locations is comforting. You can hear the birds and leaves rustling in Wailing Woods, bugs buzzing in Paradise Palms, the bitterly cold winds in Polar Peak, crickets chirping, and various noises in Greasy Grove. All of these sounds create a sense of familiarity and make you feel at ease. The hooting of owls, chirpings of birds and crickets brings peace, joy, and happiness. Ambiance refers to the atmosphere or tone of a game, created by elements such as color, lighting, graphics, environmental design, and sound. The atmosphere of Fortnite Chapter 1 is bright and colorful, from the vibrant landscapes to the buildings and its dynamic day-night cycle. All of that is mixed in with accurate shadows, lens flare, ambient occlusion, and lighting. They find a way to make everything harmonious with each other. This use of color theory is important when it comes to game design. A strong and well-chosen color palette in video games can create an engaging atmosphere, set the game's tone, and evoke emotions. This can apply to every location on the map, both previously mentioned and other locations on the island. If you put them through a palette extractor, you notice that they follow a specific color scheme, whether they are complementary, monochromatic, analogous, triadic, or tetradic. The colors are always designed to match and complement each other. Even in some cases where some locations may not seem aesthetically pleasing, they find a way to make the color and lighting match the color of the island. The game also has a cartoonish feel that contrasts the game's violent and competitive nature. Characters with exaggerated proportions, shapes, and animations. The game has environmental details that bring the island to life. An example of this is destructible objects, something that most games have still yet to implement in their games. The game features a wide range of sound effects and music that enhance the overall experience. For instance, the battle bus horns that sounds when you jump out of the bus, the noises of the supply drop, and other sounds that heighten the game's intensity. The game also includes various music packs, and we all know the power of music. Music can help alleviate stress and anxiety by reducing cortisol levels. It can release dopamine and many other positive emotions. The ambiance can evoke different emotions and feelings in players, such as joy, curiosity, or fear. Oh, right. Sometimes, we land at a POI, expecting other players to be there. However, we find ourselves alone. There's a feeling of anticipation as we wait for players who will never arrive. The feeling extends beyond just the presence of players. Buildings, stores, furniture within the house, items that show a hint of life. A place that suggests activity, yet we know that nobody will return. In previous chapters, we used to come across NPCs all over the island, regardless if they were friendly or hostile. However, now the island feels eerie. The only time we encounter NPCs is during the occasional rift encounters, but we cannot interact with them like we used to. Additionally, the absence of wildlife on the island makes it feel deserted and empty. The best way to describe this is a liminal space. Liminal spaces are places of transition and are typically devoid of humans, in this case, players. It can also refer to the places or spaces that are transitional or ambiguous. They represent the strange silence of being on a threshold of monumental change. It can be both comforting and discomforting, nostalgic and unsettling, intimate and unnatural. The ambiance can increase the discomfort of liminal spaces. On this island, there used to be people, but where have they gone? This island has a complex lore that reveals the origins and secrets of the map. In the past, there were many questions such as, what was the ultimate goal of the visitor who arrived on the island via a meteor and triggered the start of the storyline? Why did the cube appear? Where did it come from? And why did it bring cube monsters all over the island? How and why did the cube leak? And why did its explosion send the players to the in-between? What is the story of the Ice King? Why is the vault located next to a giant orb? And what's the story behind the bunker? Most of these questions take place in a man-made area that could give players a sense of a liminal space. The feeling of playing Fortnite Chapter 1 after 2 years can be seen as a liminal phase for both the game and the players. We're in this transitional phase because it brings back memories of the past while introducing mechanics that change the way the game is played. The ability to mantle, tactical sprint, and slide on an island that was previously impossible creates new experiences. The weekly changes that the island will undergo may create a sense of uncertainty since the island is not an exact copy. But there is still a sense of familiarity as most of the island remains the same. Certain POIs or environments may be missing in this version of Fortnite, which heightens the uncertainty. But the ambiance of the game draws you back in, providing comfort and assurance that everything is going to be okay. We looked at 3 examples that, when meshed together, create a player experience in Fortnite. The game's ambiance plays a critical role in setting the tone of the game. When you add color with ambiance, the game's depth can be heightened, and emotions can be conveyed while playing. On the flip side, the game's portrayal of liminal spaces evokes a sense of uneasiness or anticipation that adds to the game's overall experience. When combining all of these experiences, they create an immersive game that captures your attention and leaves you wanting more. Thank you for tuning in to this special edition of Fortnite Chapter 1. It's possible that an experience like this may never happen again. A game with an extensive and complex storyline with numerous unexpected plot twists. As we approach the end of the chapter, it's possible that the storyline could come to a close as well, marking a new beginning for Fortnite. I love you all, and I will see you very soon.